All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Lisa's traveling, and so she so graciously is popping on for us tonight. And so she is having trouble getting her audio and video to work together. So we're going to just hear her tonight. Um, but I want to thank you all for coming um, on live tonight. She is going to talk to us about how to organize your business alongside a full-time career in a busy household. And I think this is something that is so important to listen to because I know many of you do jobs alongside Rodina Fields, but I also think that when we are recruiting too, it's really important to emphasize that a lot of people are doing this very successfully around full-time careers too. And you don't have to do this business in order to replace an income. It can be, to cover something else. So Lisa has been with me. Gosh, Lisa, have you been with me a year? Not quite yet, right?
No, a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. And she is an emerging leader on our team. She has goals to hit level 5. And so I just really love her style and her leadership style with her team. And so I asked her to present to you all tonight. So let your team know they still have time to pop on tonight. If not, I will upload the recording here in just a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Lisa. And then if you guys have any questions for Lisa, you can use the chat box over here on the side. So Lisa, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm really glad to be here, and I'm really sorry I couldn't get the audio going tonight. Like Jen said, I am traveling. I'm actually in South Carolina visiting my sister, but I am thrilled to be a part of the training. I know it's a big deal, and this isn't a normal month end for anybody, but it's okay. We're all going to come out of this much better. When I started this business, I really had been looking for something I could do alongside my full-time job. I really didn't have any intent of really retiring. It didn't occur to me that that was even a possibility. But as I started learning more about this business, I realized it was something that I probably could see in my near future. So I was really, really excited about that. But I knew I needed to maintain my full-time job for a while yet. And I do enjoy my job. So it may not be something that I'm going to retire myself with right away, but maybe I can retire my husband first. So it is something that we are thinking about, but it may just be him first. I do work about 40 to 45 hours a week at a marketing company as a project manager. I have 3 kids, 2 are still at home. My husband works nights. Other crazy shifts as a police officer. I am still able to help out with all the school functions, sporting events, and even chairing the school's annual fundraiser like I did the last 4 months for my youngest daughter's school. Now, I just tell you that mostly just to tell you that if we want to do something, we will find the time to do it. A lot of people will tell you, I just don't have the time. Well, you know what? That's not true. Because if you really want to do it, whether it's volunteering, helping somebody out, or even having a side business, if you really want to do it, you'll find the time. So, working a full-time job really is not that big of a deal. Like I said, if I really wanted to do it, I'm going to do it. So when I got started, the first thing I did was I got my team page ready. I didn't have a team, but I knew I was going to have a team. So within probably a week, I started building my team page. And I took a lot of things from my directs page. She knew about it. It wasn't a big deal. And I built my page. I wanted to do that up front. So when I did have my team, I wasn't messing around trying to get my team page set up because I wanted to be focused on training my new recruits. So I would suggest if you don't have a team page, just start building one. Just get it ready. Every Sunday, I pre-schedule all of my posts. Most of the time, I probably have 2 or 3 posts scheduled a day just because I don't have time to get on during the day usually because of work. So on Sundays, I will get everything scheduled for a week, sometimes 2 weeks in advance. I use Postcron, and sometimes I use Buffer, but I really have come to really enjoy using Postcron. And I can use that for my team page, my personal page. I can use that for Instagram if I want to. I also use that for my personal preferred customer page. So there's so many different ways I can set up posts ahead of time without having to be online all the time. What I like about this is I could be getting my daughter ready in the morning while my businesses are out there already working for me. So I don't have to be out there at 6 a.m. on the computer. I can be taking care of my kids while my business is working in the background. Now, when I'm at work, I'm at work. Yes, sometimes I do get on Messenger just because I have it on my phone. But for the most part, I check messages, return emails, and things like that over my break. But when I come home, I'm present with my family till about 7. But after that, my husband takes the lead. He takes care of my youngest, gets her to bed, and he lets me go through my list of daily tasks for my business. I double check all my orders in Pulse to make sure everything's are shipping out on time. And I follow with PCs with upcoming orders and check my team's vital signs. I pay close attention when someone's close to EC. And I don't just pay close attention to my directs, I pay close attention to their directs. And I have found a lot of times that my directs may not have noticed that their directs are getting close to EC. And I really think you need to know that. You need to know how close your team is to hitting 600. To have a quick glance at my customers' information, I do have a binder. And I think I have shared that before on Team Grace, and I can post it again on this page. But I do keep all their information. I put it in there alphabetically for all my customers. And every time they order, I put down what they order. What I do then is once a month, I go through that binder. Regardless if it's their month to order or not, it doesn't matter. I touch base with them every month. And I can tell them, you know what, you haven't ordered in 3 months. You really should be low on cleanser, or you really should be low on eye cream. Are you sure you don't want to order? And a lot of times that helps them. Yeah, you know what, you're right. I really do need to order. Let's get an order in. And that's helped me a lot of times make up about $500 in sales every month. For my consultants, I do something similar. I do keep an Excel spreadsheet of everyone's monthly sales. As they hit their highest month, I highlight it in green and I move it forward. So I know what their goal should be each month. When they reach that and exceed that number, I send a huge congrats to them. You know, they may not realize what their biggest month is. They should know, but they may not know. I think it's important that we know what that is, especially your team goal. If you don't know what your team's biggest number is, go back and find out. Because if you don't know what that number is, how do you know what you should be shooting for? You know, let's just say you're a young team and, you know, you've only done $3,000. Well, you know what? Start shooting for $5,000. What if your biggest month is $30,000? Well, you should be shooting for $35,000. But if you don't know what your biggest month is, you are never going to know what to shoot for. The other thing that I do is I check my team's numbers daily. Now, granted, lately we haven't been able to get out to Pulse. Regardless, it doesn't matter. When Pulse is back up, I'm going to be back out there every day checking my team's numbers. And it's easier. I have a small team, and I do write down everyone's numbers every day. Now, sometimes it's the exact same number every day, and that's okay. But I want to know if someone had a big jump. You know, if someone went from 300 to 700, I want to know, and I want to send them a congratulations email. You know, great job. What did you do? You know, you really did a great job here. What's going on? I just want them to know that I am paying attention to what they're doing. The other thing I do for my team, and we haven't done the last couple of weeks because things have been a little askew, but I have been doing a weekly virtual event. And I got that from Tracy Bond. You know, she said, basically, you know, you should just be doing it. Have it ready. So whenever your team has somebody that wants to be part of something, there is an event available. So we do have it. I have it all set up, and I use Post My Party. And if you don't know that, just go to postmyparty.com. It really is pretty simple once you get out to it. But I have it all set up. It goes for about 30 minutes. And I do change out some of the slides here and there. But it basically just goes through the 4 regimens, you know, lash boost. I do need to add the hydration serum. But it's there every month. And my team can count on it. Now, like I said, I haven't done the last couple of weeks because of everything going on, but I will start it up again. But I think it's important at least to have a virtual event at least once a month for your team. The one thing I do have, and I've told some people on my team this, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but I have a test Facebook page that only I can see. And I'm the only, like I said, I'm the one who has access to it. And I use that to test GIF files. I use that to save great posts I've seen from other people. You know, if I see some great images and great comments or posts, I save it. I don't usually repost something right away because I don't want everybody to see the exact same post. I hate that when I see one great post, and next thing you know, 20 posts later, everyone's doing the same post. I will save it, and I will maybe post it 2-3 weeks later. So I save all these posts in my private test page. So I've had my team do that, and I think it helps them because they're saving really good posts out there. How many times have you saved an image, but you forgot the context? And that's almost the worst thing you can do is forget the context. So I would suggest doing that. It's really worked well for me, and I really like that I have that. Let's see what else I got here. Just looking at my notes, guys. Hang on. I do want to make a comment just real quick. It was kind of on a side note about Power Partners. I've had a few, and I do have a few that I keep going back to. We don't meet regularly, and we really should. And, you know, that's a shame on me as well. And I have a few more Power Partners that I've met up with now on our Level Up group. But I have had other people who have had Power Partners. And instead of being a true Power Partner where they should support you, encourage you, push you, challenge you, instead there's negativity there and more of a pity party. So not to bring anybody down right now, but I would say to you, if you have someone out there that is feeding into your insecurities, you need to drop that person and move on. If you are the person that is doing that, you need to stop that. And just remember again why you started this business. I really find it amazing that we forget so quickly why we joined this business. And you know, if you're here to be a face washer, that's great, but you're probably not on this training call if you're a face washer. I mean, let's just be honest. But most of the people I know really want to build a business. You can only build that if you're positive. You can only be positive. And when someone else is being negative, you should at least try to build them up. Don't encourage that. Don't make them feel better about being negative. And I've seen that even on my team. And I've told them, you can't get into that. You can't be part of that message because that's not what this business is about. So that's kind of my main thing I really wanted to say to you guys is stay positive, even with everything going on. Please just stay focused. This is a major thing that we're going under. You know, being in a corporation that I am, we're a global corporation. I completely understand what they are going through right now. This isn't just an update. This isn't an upgrade. This is a huge, I can't explain a database to you guys, but this is millions of different types of tables that builds this huge mainframe. And it isn't just a quick little switch that they turn on. And yeah, they probably could have done a little bit more with it, but it is what it is. And once it's right, it's going to be awesome. So I'm excited about that. Okay, a couple things I think you guys really should work on if you haven't done it already is put together your customer binder if you don't have one. Yes, you can go out to Pulse, but as we've seen, sometimes Pulse may not be there, but at least you have your customer binder. So again, that form that I use is out on Team Grace, but I will post it again on this Facebook group so you have it. Also, I think you should put together a spreadsheet of your monthly totals and your team's monthly totals. Now, if you have a huge group, just do your directs. I write it in daily, but at the end of the month, I do a printout. So it's an Excel spreadsheet. But like I said, during the month, I just handwrite it. It really won't take that long. It will help you get organized. It'll help you really take control of your business and really understand what those numbers are, because those numbers drive your business. And if you don't understand those numbers, you really can't understand where you are with your business. So I hope you guys really focus on that. One last thing I'd like to share with you guys, and some of you have heard this, but I really feel obligated to quote somebody who I've never met, but we all know, Gabe Sedlick. He says, treat your home-based business with all the intensity you do in your current job that sees you as disposable. To me, that is a very powerful statement. And I think about that all the time, being in a corporate environment that I am. So that is what I have. Jen, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Lisa. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. I'm not going to go ahead and unmute everyone here. But Lisa, I absolutely love that customer binder. And I think you should have one for your team too, because I am finding myself, I don't have a lot of printouts and things for my customers, and I really wish that I had all of that information handy, especially now. And that's just one thing that we need to remember is, yeah, like Lisa said, don't forget during this time while you started your business, and this is honestly a small hiccup, and we don't know for sure that it's going to be back up tomorrow. I had some email or messages asking, hey, I got a girl ready to sign. Is this going to be up and ready tomorrow? We don't know that. I honestly am shooting for the 5th. And that way we'll be surprised if it's up and running before. So continue to encourage your teams to be doing paper orders, signing consultants up with paper, and they can get going. There's no reason you have to wait till the 5th to do anything. So here, while I'm going to go ahead and Lisa, there's a couple questions. Barb says, thanks for these ideas. Do you have a template for your spreadsheet? Exactly all you include? I keep my customer info in Evernote so can get it anywhere. I think you're gonna post that, right, for us, a copy of your spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can do my spreadsheet as well. I do keep a yearly one as well. So I have my monthly and then I have a yearly one. So I have one from 2015, 16, and then a 17. So I keep all I'll post it. I do have it.
And Tia's asking about Post My Party. Is it a part of Facebook, and do you pay for this app? It's totally separate. I think, what is it, is it $9 a month or something, Lisa?
Yeah, $9.99.
Yeah, but it is very user-friendly.
Totally worth it. Yeah, if you're doing monthly events, especially weekly events, which really at least do every other week, I really think we need to have them available to our team. Mm-hmm. But it's worth it because you're not resetting it. You're just setting a timer again. You're not reinventing the wheel. You might flip out some pictures, but that's all you're really doing.
Right. So Tia, what I do is I create like a group and for the event, and then you just have to link that group into that party template and go in and change the times. It's so easy to use. And
it's very good.
Oh, sorry. Susan asked, do you prefer Postcrone over Post My Party for events? No, well, I only use Postcrone for events, and Lisa, you can chime into this too, but I only use Postcrone for events, like when I did that flash deal for you guys the other day. Because I was creating something completely different and knew I wasn't going to repeatedly use it.
Right.
Postcrone. But for Post My Party, like Lisa said, these virtual events can be done, especially as you start growing your team. You could be doing these for your team every single week, and you're not recreating the wheel. Is that right, Lisa?
Right. And it's right. And you don't necessarily have to be on there. And the other thing about Post My Party, which you may not realize, is I can have a post go there, say at 9 o'clock. At 9:02, I can actually add a comment to that post. Mm-hmm. So say you really can't be out there live, it could look like you're out there live.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, and that's a nice little added feature. So it looks like somebody's commenting on your post, even when, it's you, but you're really not out there live. So it's kind of a nice feature.
So do you have homework for us this week? Other than, I think, 13 pages, right?
Well, definitely they need to get their customer binders together if they don't already have that. Okay. That is so important, especially now that, if we don't have an online system to look at, what are you looking at?
Exactly.
Right? So that's the main thing. And I know what my numbers are because I have my team numbers already in my binder. So I will post, I'm probably going to have to do it tomorrow because I'm having trouble connecting to Wi-Fi from my laptop. But I will post the customer spreadsheet and my team spreadsheet and my monthly, like my yearly tracker spreadsheet too for you guys. And just work on putting your numbers together. It can take a little time, but it really doesn't take that much time, but you will need Pulse to do it. So you're gonna wanna wait, obviously, until Pulse is up because you want exact numbers for that.
So can you explain a little bit in your customer binder? Maybe you could take a couple pictures and put it on that page for us, but what are some things, what are some things that you include in your binder?
Oh, sure. So like at the top, obviously it's the person's name. and then I have their enrollment date. I have if they were ever interested in the business, if I've ever done a three-way call with them, if I've sent them a mini facial, obviously their address, phone number, email, and password. And then I put down what they ordered, when they ordered, and if I ever gave them an incentive with that order.
That's
because I don't want to repeat. Yeah, I don't want to repeat an incentive with them. And you don't want to, especially if they cancel their PC membership or whatever. I think it's really important to know, did I pay for that membership?
Right.
But I definitely want to know if I give that stuff to them. But one thing I didn't mention.
Oh, go ahead.
I also have I have a consultant form too that I do, and it's more of an individual part where it gives me their monthly totals. It's it's kind of repetitive, and I don't use it as much, but I do have it. But now that I have my larger spreadsheet, I don't use it as much. But if someone just has one or two people, maybe they'll be interested in using it. I can post that as well.
Yeah, I love that. And those of you that are using Teamzy right now, this is pretty much the same thing. She just has it in paper form. So if you're more comfortable, keeping track of your customers through that program or through the website teamzy.com, and I'll put that over here. Those of you who don't know, there is a trial that you can try. They do have some Rodan and Fields training. Now, I don't know how all that's going to integrate once we have this new system and how it's going to switch over. But you can manually enter people just like you would be doing in a book too. So that's the same type of concept.
Right.
Other questions? And you know what? It's not going to necessarily, a binder's not going to work for everyone. Like Barb had said, she had gotten an Etsy contact management program, and it just didn't really seem to work. So, I mean, if you're doing another system and it's working for you, that's awesome. It's just a reminder at this times like this, when our system goes down, that you want to have some type of a backup. So you can continue.
Yeah, it works out well for me too, because I travel a lot with work. So I can take this binder with me, and it's just kind of nice to have it with me. That's also.
So will you tell us then so if someone is doing this alongside their full-time job, what are the most important things then you make sure you do every week before you start your work week? I know you said you set up your posts. Are there what other things do you make sure that don't slip through the cracks before you get the week started?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I did miss that part, and I apologize for that. I do follow up and reach out every day, and I do a 5-2-5 system. So I reach out to 5 people, and I post at least 2 times a day, and then I follow up with 5 people a day. Now, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but I definitely get at least 2 posts out a day. I know I'm doing that because I have that preset, but I'm always following up, and I'm always reaching out, and I'm always adding people.
Yeah.
And I find that it's easier as I've gone along, and I have reached out because of my kids. I'm using them now to reach out to more people. And, we've had that in training, and Katie has talked about that, and Amelia's talked about it. There's so many different avenues to add people to your funnel, and people just don't think about it. But you don't have to start selling to them right away. Just reach out, get to know them, because, maybe not everybody is somebody you want for the business, but maybe they are somebody who would be a great customer or a great, referral person. So I think it's really important to do that. But I definitely add people every day. I'm following up every day. I'm posting every day. But I won't go a day without any of those things. Yeah. Not at all.
Right. Any other questions for her? Okay, I can't see that. All right. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and close up here. So I will go ahead and upload the recording. Please make sure you go to Lisa's Facebook page and thank her for taking the time to train us and for all the knowledge that she gave us. That's a huge, that's just a great thing for you to do, so she can draw some attention to her page too. If you have any other questions, make sure you reach out to her. Lisa, when you get a chance, will you just post the homework again on the 12-week page for us?
Yeah.
And
yep, I sure will.
We will see you guys back next week. My friend, a fellow level 5, Kelly Graham, is going to be doing training with us. She is my friend who co-established the raining season, the orphanage in Sierra Leone. So I'm super excited to share her with all of you. So you guys all have a good night. Have a good week. Everyone stay patient. Get used to writing on paper because I have a feeling that's what it's going to be like this week. Remember, you can be taking those hydration orders because we're not putting them in until probably the 5th anyway. So make sure you're starting to share those. And AJ and I are going to try to maybe do a live Facebook chat on Wednesday. I'm going to Indianapolis on Tuesday for an event there. Katie's doing an event in Peoria here. So we just want to make sure you guys have lots of things to be inviting for. Oh, and the one thing I want to make sure I tell you guys, I was talking to AJ and I are working with this business coach, and we were talking about the hydration products. And the hydration product is not going to be the traditional before and after product like we're used to. It's not going to be like regimens where you're going to be able to post side by side before and afters. You're just not going to be able to do that. So what you really need to be focusing on is demonstration type events with the hydration serum. Even if they're just little bitty videos of what the hydration serum looks like, how you use it, how you incorporate it with your regimen, but just really planning events where you can be demonstrating it and you can actually be, putting it on people so that they can feel the difference. That's going to be a huge business builder for you for the next couple weeks. So be thinking about that. She also suggested, coming up with a catchy phrase like, they're using the Hydration Nation. She said, going with something that says, I don't want anyone to go thirsty, come for a drink and hydrate your skin at the same time, or something cute like that. So be thinking about doing one of those events in May and June as well. So, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.